Hello everybody, and I hope you're well. Now this video generally, as I say, in terms of preps, it's unusual to do one about a car. They're normally bug out vehicles, big four-wheel drives, camouflage, yada yada yada. And this obviously isn't, it's a black Ford Mondeo. The reasons I chose a new car are mainly space and efficiency when you're running them, because they're not cheap, no car is. The car I had before was a Ford C-Max. It was a petrol, it was a 1.6 litre petrol engine, non-turbo, not the heaviest car in the world, but for some reason the fuel economy was diabolical. I seemed to be going to the filling station, or petrol station if you will, so many times to fill it up. I thought to myself, we're doing more trips, I'm moving more equipment around with me in terms of work, we're going on more outdoors trips, I need a bigger car. The problem is, moving more equipment around, it's going to mean a bigger car. More car, more fuel. Unless you go for one of these super duper eco-efficient petrol engines, of which cost more money. So did something that would do it, and this I think will. Okay, so apart from being a black Mondeo, it's got the power plant underneath it. 2.2 litre turbo diesel engine. It's a Duratec engine, which because of the age of the vehicle, it's a 2006 model. It's one of the ones that doesn't have a cam belt. It is one of the last chain drive ones before they moved on to cam belts. I particularly wanted one like that, so I didn't have to worry about doing cam belt changes every so often. Maybe somewhere down the line, depending on how many miles I put on it, that might need to be serviced. I don't know. That's where my knowledge stops. I just know that with cam belts I have to get one changed on every car I've had a cam belt with, so you know, there's a saving straight away. Now in terms of the fuel economy, being a diesel, I get better miles per gallon, and the trade-off is in the UK you pay more for diesel than you do for petrol. I'm averaging 47 miles per gallon, which is really, really good. It's probably more than 10 miles to the gallon more than I averaged on the old one. Be it that old one was a petrol, I was still going to be paying probably more in the long run for the petrol. See what I mean? The other thing is the range. The fuel tank range is 58 litres. Now, I don't know what that is in gallons. That'll be at the bottom as well, along with the miles per gallon conversion. But bigger range, okay? So if I'm on a big trip, or in a scenario where fuel stops would be very limited, then I have got a better range on the tank. Okay, power. The car has more power. In brake horsepower is 153 bhp, so pretty powerful. The torque is 265, again, very powerful, good pulling power. It's also a 6-speed gearbox, and that means that on a cruise, on a steady speed, it is sipping fuel, so very, very good, okay? Obviously, being in a state, it's got a nice big boot. The winter kit's the same, so that just goes straight in the back of the car, in the boot, in the grey box that you saw in the previous video. Okay, here is the engine. 2.2 litres, powerful, torquey. In terms of the top speed, well, it is 138 miles an hour. According to the book, do I go that speed? No, I don't. Why don't I? Because I don't want to lose my licence. In an emergency, in a scenario where you had to have some extra power, fantastic. Normally, I'm a bit boring. I normally am one of these people who sits on the motorway at 65 miles an hour in the inside lane. So it's nice to have the power, but please don't think that I drive anywhere near its maximum speed, okay? 0 to 60 time. I had to look that one up. The 0 to 60 time is 9 seconds. I think it's either 9 seconds or 8.5 seconds, somewhere about that. But it's quick, very, very quick. And you put your foot down and away you go. So that's the engine. Really, really good. I guess I better show you the inside as well. Okay, right, let's go inside. Have a look. Closer look on the inside of the car. Oh, excuse the jerky camera work. Right, here we are, mission control. Now this car's got a few of the extras on this. So you've got a few little creature comforts, like the old climate control, so it can be as nice and warm and toasty as possible. And an absolutely really nice stereo, so nice sound on there. Now I've recently discovered that with my new mobile phone, I can actually play the tunes off the mobile through the car stereo speakers. So I've got a little gadget in now, which you might not be able to see because of the light. It's a little splitter box, which I'll just grab hold of it there. It's one of these things that can run off the cigarette lighter and then split it down. I think you saw it on a previous video or one similar. It's got two big sockets, like for the cigar lighter or cigarette lighter, whatever it is, and then it's got 3 USBs there as well. So at the moment I've got one USB cable plugged in, which comes back somewhere here. Oops. Into that'll just plug into my mobile phone so I can charge my mobile up as I'm going. The rest of it is one for the sat nav, there's one for the dash cam, and I've just got the cable coming out of there, which is up there somewhere, just in the body of the car. That all shuts nicely without trapping anything, and I can just run the cables back along here, and then the little thing goes into the cigarette lighter there, and I can power everything up. And so we've just got the cable there. That's just for the phone to play through the stereo. Of course, the cup, the mug, goes everywhere with me. Certainly this last few weeks, with it being as cold as it's been, absolutely fantastic. Always got to have a hot drink in the car, I feel. A couple of other things. This is the dash cam, which I recently bought. It is the Nextbase 312 GW, which a relative actually had one very similar to this, so it was a lot better than the old one. It records in full HD. It also plots the GPS position. So in the event of an incident, you can prove where you were, and it also plots the speed as well. So that's a good incentive to keep below the speed limit, or you've just dropped yourself in it. A couple of things while I'm over here. I've got some maps there, and these are obviously for local places or places where I'm liable to go in the event of such a scenario. You can just see a glimpse of one there for the National Forest. There's some other ones in there as well, and of course some street maps. Although I have a sat nav, it's one of the older ones. It's one of the original TomToms, which is about 10 years old, so I've never bothered updating it. Probably should have, but never have. Just in case this failed, or for some reason I couldn't, there's no substitute for having maps. A couple of other things in the compartment there. I've got a Write in the Rain notebook, and of course a pen. Got a spare lead for the mobile phone, spare USB, because so many things are run on USBs, it's sensible to have a spare lead. So in various kits, if possible, I always try and keep a couple of spare ones. I know, nail clippers, but guys, you're only human, you know, even guys use nail clippers, and so a spare pair is kept in the car. Little hand sanitizer there as well, because sometimes you just can't be near a tap and soap and water, so it's a good idea to have some of those. Okie doke. Okay, I also have a pair of sunglasses as well, just Tesco jobs, because obviously in a car you're liable to drop them, or you know, crunch them or something like that. So again, they're not really none of the expensive Ray-Bans here or other brands, I might add, just cheap and cheerful ones there, which will do the job. Okay, now you notice there's got a high-vis vest on that side. Now in all the pockets of the car, i.e. the door pockets, I have a high-vis vest. I think that's very important before getting out of the car for any situation, especially when it's at night or bad weather or bad visibility. Good idea to have high-vis vests. So as you can see, there's one in each door pocket of the car. Okay, just skipping across to the other side, I have my torch, which I always lives in the car. It's the 3D cell mag light, the LED. By modern torch standards, even this is outplayed by some of the smaller ones. My EDC torch will go up to 300 lumens. This will go up to about 130, 140, because it's not the most recent one, but it doesn't matter. It's still a nice beam, and it's a good idea, in my opinion, especially if you're doing any late night driving, to have a nice powerful torch. So that's that one. Like I say, in the back of the car, again, high vis vest, because little one's in the back and my wife's normally in the back as well. Just got some tissues there and a spare cheap and cheerful torch just for a bit of light. I know I've got interior lights, but sometimes it's helpful to have. Little blanket there, not a wool one, just a polyester job, just something soft so when he's in his seat, if he's getting a bit cold, there's a blanket there rather than having to stop the car and get out the car and get a blanket and get back in the car again. So just having everything there at hand. Okay, and in the passenger footwell there, I've just got loose, it doesn't rattle around too much, I've just got some good quality de-icer there, right down to -15, very, very good, and a scraper. I do have those in the back of the car as well, but rather than sort of having to scurry around opening boots and everything, it's just handy to have that sort of thing there. And at the end of the day, it's better to have too much than too little of this stuff, because I don't want to be standing there late at night trying to find de-icer in the boot. It's easier if I've got it there to hand, and then I've got the stuff in the boot as a backup. Okay, so there we have it. That is the Ford Mondeo, the latest addition to my kit. Not a fully fledged bug out vehicle, I know, but in an emergency, if I need to get my kit in to get my family out, it's here. And for the rest of the time, just a perfect good family vehicle. That's the end of the video, so thank you very much for watching. A little bit different to some of my other videos, but any comments or suggestions, please feel free to leave them. And if you want to subscribe to the channel to see more videos, click the subscribe button. Until next time, thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.